Hello, I am Hansen and this is my project for the DevRev Hackathon. So I have built 6 snap-ins, 5 of these are data sources and one which will help us summarize all the data. So let's start. First is Twitter, which is a social media data source. Then we have Trustpilot and G2, which are peer-to-peer review sites, which helps us get review for all the tech businesses. Then Google reviews for the businesses that are registered on Google, and Play Store for the apps that are available on the Play Store. So let's start with Twitter. So before I begin, I would like to explain the structure. So the parameters that we check are for relevance. Then we check the sentiment. Then for relevance, we check if the data that is sourced, is it noisy, is it a spam, or is it related to the company, and then we remove it before creating the ticket. And next is the sentiment, which helps us decide the sentiment of the customer review. Then next comes the categories and subcategories. So we categorize or cluster the reviews into many different attributes. So first one is a bug, and that has few subcategories like blocker, minor, major. Then next is a complaint. A complaint can also be functional, performance based, or usability based, or customer service based. And next is the general feedback that does not have a subcategory, but that is still an attribute. Then next is praise. So praise also has its own subcategories like the benefit received or the specific feature which they liked. Then next is a security concern, which could be either a vulnerability in the application, or a privacy issue. Next is the pricing, that the customer finds it expensive or cheap. And last is the question, which a customer can ask the company. If it's a question, then it is categorized as a question. All these categories are stored in the tag, and then the next parameter that we test is the severity of the review. Is it low severity, high severity, or a blocker? Next, then we find the feature that the customer is talking about or wants to improve or is praising. And third and second last is the insight, which we could get, insightable action which the company could get from that review, and also a small description of the review in simple words. So let's start with Twitter. For Twitter, we will look for 3 reviews from Twitter for the mentions of the company. So I have taken Grow and DevRev for this. Uh, so let's see. So this is the review. It is a bug and the sentiment is negative. And this is a small description of the review. So the subcategory is blocking. This is a major bug. The overall sentiment is negative. Feature discussed is the Grow app itself, and an insight which the company could look into is given here, and also a sample response which the company could automate and send to the customer is given here. And we also measure the severity of the whole uh, platform. Next, snap in. So next, let's check G2. G2 is a peer-to-peer review site. I have taken DevRev for this. So I have taken 2 companies like DevRev and Grow. They are slightly different tech companies, and so the data sources, the use case for the data sources can be established through these 2 companies as an example. So let's try G2. Let's search 3 reviews again. So the reviews have come. Let's just check this one only first before all the reviews come. So G2 has big reviews. So this is the review which we have generated, and it's a praise and it's a positive sentiment. The subcategory is customer success. They are praising the customer success. The overall sentiment is positive. The feature discussed in the review, since it's a long review, there are 4 features discussed. One is support engineering and customer success. So this is the actionable insight that the AI has generated, and also and also a sample response that could be automated. So these are all the snap-ins. Next, let's just check Google review. So in Google review, we are checking grow again. You have to add your Google business ID and then fetch reviews. Google review 3 again. So this is categorized as a general feedback. So here's the description. It is a positive sentiment. General feedback doesn't have a subcategory, just like I mentioned before. The overall sentiment is positive. The feature is the app, and the actionable insight is that the company should make brokerages and yeah, whatever. And this is a sample response. So let's move ahead. So these are all the snap-ins. All of these work. The code can be rechecked, but for the sake of time, I won't look into everything. I'll just move straight into the Blink Summarize, which is my best feature. So we don't need any connection here. All the reviews, all the tickets that are generated on this DevRev application with all those snap-ins are summarized, are brought into this and summarized, and go through an AI algorithm. We'll look into it. Bling. You have to just write hashtag this slash bling and then play. There's no need for any dashboard or anything because this was like the best. Like DevRev has everything here. There's no need for a third dashboard. So everything is generated right here. So the Blink summary has been generated. It gives us the positive sentiment percentage, which is 50%, and also the negative sentiment. This is amazing how it is exact, but none of this is hard coded. All of this works. The code can be checked. So we take all the tickets that were generated, and then that goes through the AI algorithms, and then we get this output. So we find the positive overall sentiment percentages for positive and negative. Also, what the customers are liking, what are the customers' pain points, so that you can improvise on your value proposition that you give to your customer by identifying the pain points and likings. And then the areas to focus on is also generated that the company can focus on, and then the action that they should take for this is also generated, like they can improve the creating process. This is for grow. This is actually all grow and DevRev reviews were mixed, so that's why this is a very mixed uh, generated reviews summary. But if it was one company, then it would have had one company's review. But this is how it is. So thank you. This was my project. I am Hansen, and this was my project.